dealing with that. So, we can say healthcare. Okay, right word we can use here is healthcare.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Anyone else? Okay, so let's start. Let me share my screen and then we'll continue. Just give me 1 minute. Till then, if anyone has any specific requirement, like if he or she is looking for something specific from this medical writing course, what are your expectations? You can share. Any views you have, any specific requirements you have? Anyone? Ananthi Ravichandran. Okay, Ananthi Ravichandran, can I know what is your qualification? May I know what is your qualification, Ananthi? Ananthi, can you hear me? Okay, so I think Ananthi is not responding. Okay, yes, Priya. We will discuss the scope of medical writing also, so that you'll get to know about the job prospects after this course. Okay. Okay, Anand. Yes, we will discuss about medical writing, how it will help you to grow professionally, how you can choose it as a career option, and what opportunities you will get to what opportunities you'll get after completing this course of medical writing. Let me explain it to you. Just give me 1 minute. I will share my screen. So basically, I'll start with the definition of medical writing. So basically, when we talk about medical writing, so as the name itself suggests, that it is related to writing medical documents, or we can extend it to healthcare, like to elite fields also. So we can discuss extend it to healthcare. So basically, it is related to writing the documents, published, non-published, writing the documents related to healthcare and medical field. So this is what medical writing is, which involves writing review articles, research articles. Then you have the regulatory documents, like required documents which are required for clinical research process and all. Okay, so those type of documents. Then the content which goes on websites, social media, blogs. Okay, so all that information we'll discuss. Okay, just I'm sharing my screen now. Okay, so the screen is visible. If my screen is visible, please.
Not yet.
Okay, it is loading. Just 1 minute. Is it visible now?
No, ma'am.
Is it not visible to everyone?
Not
Yes,
visible.
just loading to.
Yes, ma'am. It is visible now.
Okay, okay. So medical writing, how you can see medical writing as a career, how you can, like, what type of jobs you will get in medical writing, whether you will be able to get, because I'm getting the queries of online jobs, okay, like remote jobs. So you will get an opportunity to work remotely also. Okay, so first we'll discuss what is the scope of medical writing. So there are various industries where you can work as a medical writer. Okay, like pharmaceutical industries, biotechnology industry, then contract research organizations, then medical publication industries, and like then you have medical journalism. So there are various fields nowadays available where you can work as a medical writer. So basically, medical writing, it is divided into two broad categories, that is regulatory writing and medical communication. Okay, regulatory writing means that when you are involved with hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, am I audible to all?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
yes,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, so let me again share my screen. There was a glitch. What happened? Just wait 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. I'll share my screen again. Okay, so I was telling about the scope of writing. So scope of medical writing, it is not limited to a single industry. In multiple industries, medical writers, they'll get employment. They can have the opportunity to work as freelancers also. They can have the opportunity to work as in part-time, as well as they can work in as a full-time employee also. Okay, so in pharmaceutical industry and in biotechnological industry, when they are working with them, they are involved in making the documents which are related to clinical trials, like clinical trial publications, clinical trial protocols, okay, and clinical study reports. So like clinical trial publications, clinical trial protocols, and study reports, they all are related to clinical research. Okay, and then the consumer device medicine and device information, like these documents are known as package inserts and patient information leaflet. Okay, and then product marketing, so which is a specific field which is known as medico marketing. Okay, so medico marketing is a very specific field where this medical writers, they are involved in writing the handouts, brochures which are specifically, or literature which is required for sales and marketing of the products which are manufactured by that company. Then you have contract research organization. Contract research organizations are the organizations, basically these are third party organizations who are involved in conducting clinical research process for the sponsor. Okay, so that's like creating the documents related to clinical research, which are preclinical research reports, clinical trial protocols, then participant information, informed consent forms, clinical study reports, and then publishing the data which is available related to clinical studies, clinical trials. Then we have medical publication industry. So medical publication industries are like when you are involved in writing review articles, research articles, case reports, basically the documents which are published. Okay, so and these documents are published in offline or online mode, and they are available for the readers to read. But the documents which are written in regulatory writing, they are confidential documents, and they are not they are only submitted to the regulatory authorities. They are not available for public. Okay, why? Because they are confidential documents. They contains a lot of confidential information. So medical publication industry involves writing review articles, research articles, doing manuscript proofreading and copy editing. Then there is medical journalism. So medical journalism are like when you are involved in writing medical news, like health and medical or scientific news articles, then patient stories, blogs, podcast, transcripts. Podcasts are small audio video clips, writing blogs, writing patient stories, like when the patients sharing their experience. Okay, they must have received undergone any therapy and what is their experience related to that, any disease suffering from, so how they are coping with that disease, how they are managing it, so like these. So that all comes under medical journalism. Okay, and then the other industries involved healthcare organizations and institutions, like medical writers to work in hospitals, health insurance companies, non-profit organizations, and private practices, where they are involved in writing the educational content, health promotional content, the studies which are done on inpatients. Inpatients means the patients who are admitted in the hospital. So they are writing the case reports, case series, conference abstracts and presentations, and they're writing the grant, patient stories, and all. Then medical communication and marketing agencies, like these are also third party agencies, hire medical writers, and they have their client. So medical writers, they are indirectly associated with the clients, and for those clients they write the content like health promotional content, educational content. Then we have marketing materials, content which goes on website, social media, blogging. Slide decks are a kind of PowerPoint presentation. So these are various job opportunities which medical writers will get. So there are tremendous job opportunities which comes in the way of medical writer, and depending upon that, what expertise you have, what knowledge you have, what is your educational background, and what is your liking, you can choose any of your field. You can choose like whether you want to go in medical communication or whether you want to go in regulatory writing. In regulatory writing also, like you choose, you can work, you want to work with a pharmaceutical industry or you want to work with a CRO. So like this. And it will also, like, medical writing is a field which gives you an opportunity to work as a part-time writer. You can work as a full-time writer on, and now you can work as a freelancer also. Remote job opportunities are also available to medical writers. Okay, is it clear to everyone what is the scope of medical writing, what job opportunities
Yes.
you will get related to medical writing? If you have any
Yes. No.
queries, anyone, you can ask.
No.
Okay, so when it comes to medical writing, so how we see medical writing course as future, what future you can like expect if you work as a medical writer. So whether it has, because growth is not only professional, everyone requires financial growth as well. So medical writing is a field which provides you the opportunity to grow professionally as well as financially. Okay, so there the medical writers, they can find job option, and like CROs, they can work at a CRO, they can work as BPOs, KPOs, but CRO is the most prominent field where medical writers are interested to work in, where they are involved in writing the documents related to clinical research. They can collaborate, like if you don't want to work as a full-time employee, you can work as a freelancer also. You can work you can take medical writing as your part-time job as well. Like you can collaborate with doctors, scientists, or other subject matter experts, where you create, you're not full-time associated with them, but as and when work comes, you get associated with them, and you help them in writing, or you yourself write the research articles, product use, and other medical information for them. You can work with them as like medical communication services, including publication writing, which are offered by specialized companies. Like you can associate yourself with some publication companies, with some journals, and you can write research articles, review articles for them. Okay, you can you can write case reports for them, basically the articles which are published in journals. No, apart from writing, you can also be involved in copy editing, manuscript proofreading. So that is also the opportunities which is available to medical writers. Okay. The next, what are the roles which are offered to medical writer? So medical writers, they can start their work, like if you're a fresher, you don't have any experience as a medical writer, so you can start, or like you are not a fresher, but you are working in some other field, but now you're switching to medical writing. So instead of getting a full, like you can get a job as an intern or a trainee. So you can work as a trainee medical writer on some projects with some companies. Okay, as a you can, or as an intern. Then if you want to work in the regulatory CROs, or the other type, or in regulatory fields, or you associate yourself with the regulatory affair companies, or you associate yourself with a pharmaceutical or a biotechnological or any medical device industry, then you can get opportunity to work as a regulatory medical writer. Then you can, then as from the trainee, when you get experience, you turn out to be a senior medical writer. Then you will be promoted to senior medical writer if you're involved in doing analysis of the documents. Okay, then you will be medical writer analyst. When you have experience of about 5 to 10 years, then you are promoted to associate medical writer. You can also work as a freelancer, as I said, that if you're not interested to work as a full-time employee, or if you have some constraints, you want to work remotely, then you can work as a freelance writer also. There are various opportunities, which there are various branches of medical writing. Okay, like regulatory writing, then medical communication, Then you have then regulatory writing, medical communication. Okay, and then you have like narrative writer. When you're writing the patient narratives, then you are narrative writer. So basically, when you are involved in writing research articles, review articles, and case reports, the articles which are published in journals, then you're known as scientific writer. Okay, then when you're involved in writing aggregate reports, so you are known as aggregate report writer. When you're writing involved in writing the educational content, academic content, then you are known as academic writer. So all these are branches of medical writing. All this comes under medical writing only. Whether you are writing, so any document, we can say any document when you're writing which is related to healthcare field, okay, which is related to healthcare field, which is related to medical field, whether it is published, whether it is non-published, whether it is for regulatory purpose, whether it is for the readers, that all comes under medical writer. And when you choose a specific domain where you want to work in medical writing, that becomes your specialization. Like you can say that I work as a medical writing writer and my specialization is writing research articles. So my specialization is that I have the expertise in writing scientific documents. I have expertise in writing regulatory documents. I have expertise in writing narrative writing. Okay, so when you will go through the course, all these documents, all these fields, all these domains are very well covered in each module in this course. Okay. Okay, Shoaib. So I'll take up your query at the end when I will explain that how you will get the jobs and all. So then I will take up your queries. Okay. Now, what is our course? How we uh, uh, goes, and what are the modules which are included? What is the course structure? So let's discuss that. So the course, it is divided into 7 modules. Okay, so first module is the introduction, because we have students from different fields, and for some students medical writing is totally a new one, so they might not be knowing what medical writing is. So we'll start with the introduction, where again we'll discuss about what is medical writing, what are the skills, what are the requirements related to medical writing, how you will get the jobs, what are the job opportunities, what is should be your qualification when you want to work as a medical writer. So all that we'll discuss in module number 1. Then you have module number 2. So as I said, that medical writing is divided into 2 categories, that is scientific writing and regulatory writing. Medical communication and regulatory writing. So we'll move with according to that only. So we'll start with medical communication first, and in that we'll take up scientific writing. And in scientific writing, we will discuss about how you can write a news article, how you can write a review article, how you can write a research article, and also we'll discuss about case reports along with the examples. Okay, it is not like this that only we will take up theory. We will tell you that how you can write these documents along with the examples. Then we'll move on to regulatory writing. But before regulatory writing, it is important to understand the drug development process, where we will discuss about preclinical research, clinical research, what is clinical research, what are different phases, what are different applications which are filed, and then different pharmacological terms that we will discuss. Then we'll move to core regulatory writing, and in that first we'll discuss about the documentation and also the guidelines which are required to write, or which are followed to write preclinical research documents. Then how medical writers can be involved in clinical trials, what are the documentation they are involved in writing in brief, like what are the content, how you have to write the documents, and what are the guidelines again which are followed, again with examples are explained to you. Then module number 6, we will discuss about the aggregate reports, post-marketing documents, like once the drug it is released in the market, then what type of documentation is done. So CTD, module, CTD dossier is included, aggregate reports, PSUR, DSUR included, clinical evaluation report, which is written for medical devices, that is included, along with the guidelines which are followed, and of course, examples. Then module number 7, which is related to guidelines to publish clinical data. What are the guidelines which are required to publish the clinical data, like PRISMA, CONSORT, strobe, care guidelines. So all these reporting guidelines are also discussed. And then there are some complementary modules also, which are related to pharmacovigilance, in which we'll discuss about narrative writing. Then how medical writers are sometimes also involved in regulatory filings. So how the regulatory process, it is done in different countries in India, US, and Europe, that is included. And then you have a miscellaneous module where we will discuss the main important points which are related, which we have discussed in all the modules. So this is how the course is divided into 7 to 8 modules and how it goes. Okay, any queries if you have related to the modules, any specific type of document you are looking for, and maybe which I have not mentioned, but I'll help you with that, in which module it would be included. If you have any such queries, you can ask now. Okay, so we'll move forward. So what are the requirements of medical writer? How, like, what are the skills? There are certain skill sets, there are certain requirements, some knowledge you must be requiring when you want to become a medical writer, which you should develop when you want to become a medical writer and you want to excel in this field. So we'll discuss that. So first is the grammar and knowledge, general knowledge and skills which you should have. So first is the language and grammar. So a medical writer has to communicate scientific information. So in addition to understanding the scientific aspects, now when you're writing any document, first of all, you have to write the documents in English. Usually you have to write the documents in English. So you should have good command over English language. You should have good vocabulary. You should be able to write a document which is well presentable, well written. Along with that, it should be well presentable, as well as there should be no grammatical errors, no spelling mistakes, no mistakes of punctuation. Always use active voice when you are writing, when you have to use active voice, when you have to use passive voice. So all these things should be clear to you, and you should have a very good vocabulary when you're writing any document, because when you're using good vocabulary, it indicates that a professional, an expert in this area has written this document. So knowledge about grammar and language is very important. Then literature and reference searching. So literature and reference searching is an integral part of medical writing. Whatever document you have to write, whether you have to write a research article of around 5,000 words, or whether you have to write a blog which is of only 500 words, for every type of document, you have to do a proper literature searching. Okay, so whatever topic is provided to you, you are writing the document. You will find a lot of information on internet. So it is not only about searching, but also you should have an expertise of selecting the information or extracting out the information which is relevant to your topic. So there are various databases. You can follow various databases like Medline, PubMed, Embase, Rely Online Library, Science Direct, elsewhere. Then you have books also, from where you will get a lot of data. But it is not like this, that you will include everything, whatever comes on your way. You have to understand that whether this information is correct or not. You have to make the information evident, and then only you can include in your article. So literature and reference searching, you should be a pro at it, and you will learn it gradually when you will start doing the writing part. Then interpretation and presentation of research data. So especially when you're writing a review article or a research article, especially the research article, so the data which is obtained from the research studies, it is in raw form. And you cannot present that raw data to the readers. Why? Because they won't understand it. You have to present it in the form of a text, tables, or graphs, and then provide them a proper conclusion so that they can understand what exactly this data means. So hence, you should have then this skill to interpret the data and then to present that data. And then there are various legal and ethical issues also. So you should be aware of that. Like you should write the content which is plagiarism free. Like you cannot copy and paste the content. You have to write it on your own, even though you are taking it from other sources. But then too, you have to write it in your own words. You have to frame it, write it in your own words. And also your content nowadays, it should not be paraphrased and it should not be AI generated. Okay. Then when you're writing the content, you're obviously, when you're taking the information from other sources, you have to quote them properly. Like you have to do proper referencing and citation. You have to follow the copyright rule. Do not write the biased content. Like you have to write a content which includes the positive as well as negative findings. So a fair, balanced summary you have to write. And whenever you have to write any article, whether you're writing a review article, research article, any article, so there are instructions to authors which are provided. So you have to strictly follow those instructions. If you have to follow certain guidelines, certain regulations, so that you have to follow. Maintain the confidential nature. If any confidential information is shared with you, you're not allowed to leak that information to anywhere directly or indirectly. So all these legal and ethical issues, you should be aware of it and you should work according to them only. Okay. Understood? Is it clear to all? Understood? If you have any queries here, you can ask. Okay. The next is domain knowledge. Now, domain knowledge is equally important because you are writing the documents which are specific, which are to specific field, which is medical or healthcare. Okay, on like a broad term, we can use healthcare. So you should have knowledge, first of all, because you're writing the documents which are related to healthcare domain. So you should have good command over medical language. You should have understanding of medical terminology and concept. This is the mandatory requirement. This is must. Okay. You should have knowledge about medical terms, terminology, and concepts. Then drug development process, of course, especially if you want to work as a regulatory writer, knowledge about regulatory documents, like when you're writing the trial protocols, investigators brochure, clinical study reports for of clinical trials, efficacy and safety summary. So it requires thorough understanding of drug development process, clinical research, and there are various guidelines also. So you should be aware of those guidelines. So all these guidelines, documents, how you have to write it, clinical research, what are adverse drug reactions, everything is included in the course. Then statistics. So because when the data which is obtained from the clinical research studies, that data you have to statistically analyze. But here you have one leverage that you can, if you are statistician, and you can do the statistical analysis along with the biostatistician, but at least knowledge about the terms like p values, t values, coefficient analysis, and all this, regression analysis, coefficient, and confidence interval. So all these terms should be clear. In case if you're not able to do the statistical analysis, then you can connect with the biostatistician, but only with the permission of your client. Then there are various technical guidelines also which are followed, because we all know that clinical research and everything, this is clinical research and everything, it is like highly regulated field. So there are various regulations, and the same regulations you have to follow basically when you are writing the documents also, like the ICH guidelines. Apart from ICH guidelines, there are some national guidelines also, which you have to follow. Okay. And which you have to follow, given by national regulatory authority. You should have knowledge about those guidelines as well. Okay. So that is important. So those all guidelines are also included in different modules of like related to clinical research. So that you have to include, that is also included in the course. Okay. Now, just now types of medical writing and core areas of medical writing. So types of medical writing, you have scientific writing, regulatory writing, then medical communication and regulatory writing are two broad fields, and this scientific writing that comes writing only. Okay. Now, so in case if you have any queries still here, you can ask. Then we'll continue. You have 5 minutes to ask your queries. Anyone? Okay. So we'll move forward with the core areas. What are the core areas where you can work as a medical writer? Okay. So like medical writing involves different types of writing. Yes, Anand, when we are talking about healthcare, so healthcare also includes Ayurveda, uh, homeopathic, all the fields. Okay. So you can also write the documents which are related to Ayurveda field as well. Okay. Is it fine? Okay. So medical writing involves writing different types of document for different purposes, and also because for medical writing, the readers, they vary depending upon what type of document it is. The readers may vary. Readers can be laymen, readers can be scientists, readers can be researchers, readers can be students, readers can be regulatory professionals. So readers, according to the document, they varies. So as a medical writer, you will be involved in writing different types of documents for different purposes. Each document, they have a different objective to serve and for different audiences. So like medical journalism, you are involved in writing the newspaper and magazine articles, and these are mostly for general public, because when you are providing the information in very brief, in very easy and simple language, then it is generally the general public or lay audience are interested to read these articles. So hence they should be written in a very simple and non-technical language. Then you have medical education, which is for like writing textbooks, e-learning modules, slide decks, PowerPoint presentation for patients and also for the physicians. Then medical marketing for healthcare, which is a specific field known as medico marketing writing. Okay. MMW, which is like when you're writing the literature, promotional literature for the healthcare professionals, which are basically the purpose is to promote the products which are manufactured by the company, whatever products they are manufacturing for their sales, marketing, and advertisement purpose. Then the documents which are written for publication and presentation, like involves research articles, review articles, case reports, abstracts, posters, and presentations. Okay, for scientific conferences and meetings. Then research documents. So research document here includes the clinical research documents, which includes the documents which are related to clinical research purpose, like clinical trial protocols, investigators brochure, informed consent documents, study reports, research proposals and all. Then you have regulatory documents, which are for regulatory writing purpose, like package inserts and patient information leaflets. Then you have clinical study reports, subject narratives or patient narratives, and then regulatory submission and documents. So these all different types of documents, different areas are available to medical writing, as I mentioned earlier, according to what expertise you have, what knowledge you have, what experience you have, and also, above all, what is your liking You can choose your field where you want to work, and according to that only you can start your career. But in our course of medical writing, we are covering every domain so that you have choice, whether you so that you always have the choice to work in whichever field you like. Okay. Now, what are the steps of medical writing? Like, what are the things which generally followed? A basic step-by-step procedure, chronological order, which is usually followed for writing a document. First is get familiar quickly. Now, familiarity is very important. Familiarity not only with the document, but with the topic also. Suppose if you have to write a review article, then you should know what is a review, what is the purpose of the review, and how it is written, and on whatever topic you have to write. Suppose you have to write on cardiac arrest, then you should know what cardiac arrest is. Okay. Then write well and with flair. Now, write well with flair indicates logical flow of information. So there should be a logical flow of information. You cannot write the information in bits and pieces. You have to give a proper linear flow or logical flow. Suppose, for example, if you're writing about a disease, okay. So when we write about a disease, say, for example, you're writing about malaria. So you have to explain what is malaria, how it happens, what is the cause of malaria, how what are the symptoms, signs and symptoms, what are the complications related to it. Okay. Then what is the treatment which is followed, and what are the precautions or prevention, how what are the precautions which should be taken, and how this disease can be prevented. You cannot write it like this, that first you're writing about the treatment, then you're writing about the signs and symptoms, and then you're writing about the disease. No, there should be a proper flow of information in each and every document. While when you're writing a research or you're writing a simple blog, linear flow of information is mandatory so that the readers, they won't get confused, they will understand your writing properly. Then know your audience. Knowledge about the readers is very important, because we are not writing as a medical writer, you're not writing anything for yourself, you're writing it for others, like you're writing it for the readers. So knowledge of readers, who are your readers, what is their requirement, you have to think from readers perspective, and then only you should write an article or whatever document you have to write. Then project management skills. So there are certain skills, basic skills like of project management, time management, teamwork spirit. Like sometimes you work with a team also. So you should have that team management skill also. You should have that ability to work in a team, as well as you should have an ability to work alone also. How you will project manage your project. Time management is very important with medical writing, because whenever you have to write a document, it comes with a deadline of 1 week, deadline of 2 days, deadline of 1 day. So in that deadline, in that time frame only, you have to like allocate time to eat. You have to divide your plan of work, then allocate your time to each task, and try to complete each task in that time only. Can you can do your submission to the client on time, and do not make it a habit of every time procrastinating your work. You can do it once or twice, but not again and again. And forward thinking, always you have to think a step ahead. Like suppose you're writing about any topic, so you should have that knowledge so that what is the future. Okay. How this field can move one step forward. So that forward thinking also you should have. So these skills, like how you will manage your work, how you will manage your time, how you will work with a team. There should be no when you're working with a team, there will be no rest. They should be resolved. Okay, so all these things, how you have to write, it is not only about write but also of present. This how who your audience are, what is their requirement, and writing according to that requirement will always help you to, which is appreciated by the readers. Okay, understood everyone? Is it clear to all? Now, there are certain techniques which are followed in medical writing, and what are the medical writing services which are provided. So, first, there are techniques like depending upon that whether you're working in a team or you're working alone, okay, what type of document you're writing, you can follow any of the document basically for any of these techniques basically for the idea developments in detail respective module. And these techniques are like free writing technique, brainstorming, mind mapping, six thinking heads, force field analysis, fishbone diagrams. So all these techniques are well followed when you are writing on any document, depending on that whether you're working alone or you're working in a team, or you're working with a team, or what type of document you are writing. Okay. Okay, Priya, I'll take up your query at the end. Okay, first let me finish and then I'll take up your query. So I have one query from Shoaib and one query from Priya, which I have to address. I'll address at the end. Okay. Now, medical writing services. So medical writing services include like apart from writing the research review articles, you can give your services during the drug development process where you will be involved in writing, as we discussed, the regulatory documents like preclinical study reports, clinical sections of INDs. In regulatory writing, like in regulatory filings, also medical writers are involved, writing the documents for clinical research and post marketing like investigators, brochures, protocols, informed consent documents, annual reports or aggregate reports, risk management documents. So all these documents are written by medical writers. So all these documents in detail, with along with the examples and how you have to write these documents. Also, what are the guidelines which are followed for writing these documents, regulations which are followed for writing these documents, all are discussed in detail in the respective modules. So how you can start your how you can start with Henry Harvin. Before that, I'll take up the queries and then we'll continue with this. So first, I'll take up Shoaib's query. Shoaib asked how to approach companies as you are a fresher. So Shoaib, if you can hear me, can you tell me what is your qualification and why? What is your experience? Shoaib, can you hear me? Are you there in the class? Okay, so I don't think so that Shoaib is here, but okay, final year MBBS student. Okay, Shoaib. So as a fresher, you can directly apply to the job openings which are there on the company website or on different job searching portals. Okay, and Henry Harvin also helps you with training and placement. You can contact your counselor or your RM. They will detail you that how our placement cell works. Okay, if you are planning to start your career as a freelancer, okay, you don't want to work as a full-time employee, if you want to work as a freelancer, then in that case you can start your career by writing the blogs. You can create your own blog, your own website for the blog, and then you post your blogs on them. You can share your blogs with your friends, with your colleagues, so that you get the visibility. Okay, and then you can approach to the companies for the freelancing work. But in case if you're interested not to, but I would suggest that if you want to make medical writing as your career, then you should start working as a full-time employee, because in that you will learn many things. Okay, I hope your query is resolved. In case if any other query, you can message me. Till then I'm replying to Priya. Okay, so Priya, your query is what type of assessment, how are the type of assessments, topics are given or editing is asked. So first of all, it depends upon you that what type of projects you want to take. Okay, whether you want to write a review article, you want to write a research article, so you accept, it is up to you that what type of assignments you are accepting. Then topics, of course, yes, topics are given by the client. Okay, and you have to edit format and edit your draft, and then you have to submit it according to the instructions. The instructions are provided to you, and according to those instructions only you have to write a document. And the fields which are in most demand in medical writing is regulatory writing, like when you're working in a CRO, writing the clinical research documents, or scientific writing when you are involved in writing research articles, review articles. So those fields are most prominent, and medical writers are most interested to work in them, and you will get good payment also when you write such documents. Okay. And pay scales, now it again depends upon your qualification and what expertise you have and in what field you are working. It depends, it vary from document to document if you're working as a freelancer. But if you're working as a permanent employee, then you can get a payment on project basis also, or as a monthly salary also. Okay. So I hope your queries are resolved. In case if you have other queries, you can ask again. Yes, Tejshri, work from home jobs are also available. Full-time work from home jobs you will also get. But in case if you're a freelancer, it is very difficult to get a work from home full-time jobs. You can get what part-time easily, freelancer easily, because generally uh, those who are, because one thing is that there are a lot of confidential information shared. So generally they do not rely on the remote employees, they rely on in-house employees only. But yes, it is not like this that you will not get, you will get the opportunities, but they will be less. Okay. Yes, for BDS graduates, Komal, there are good opportunities in medical writing. Yeah, Anand, the minimum eligibility to work as a medical writer is that you should be a life science graduate. And I will tell you why. Because if you are a life science graduate, it is understood that you have that understanding of medical terms, medical terminologies, and various fields related to uh, life science research. Okay. Other queries, anyone? Okay, so I'll proceed with how you can start your here with Henry Harvin. So Henry Harvin, we started in 2013 and we are based in San Francisco, California. Henry Harvin is a competency development organization, and we are focusing on the courses delivering to the students so that they can develop their skills and they can get new jobs, or like they can excel in their current job. Okay. Henry Harvin has its presence in India, Sri Lanka, San Francisco, and Beijing. So we have delivered approx 30,000 plus lectures to 30,000 plus learners. We have delivered self-paced training to a client base upon 2 lakh plus learners. We are providing 80 plus courses. We are vendor with 150 plus corporates, and we are partner with 80 plus colleges pan India, and the number is still counting. So what are the program features? First of all, the program consists of live training sessions. So you'll have 16 hours live training sessions, 12 bootcamp sessions, which will be joined monthly. You'll get the membership of Henry Harvin Writing Academy. You will be involved in writing engaging projects, assignments, okay, and that will be evaluated. And you will get the internship opportunity also with Henry Harvin. Along with this, there are certain complementary modules which are provided to you, like soft skill development and resume writing. Then when you will complete this course of medical writing, so what all things you will understand? Okay, so first of all, you will understand what is medical writing, what it is about, what are the documents. You will understand, you will be able to analyze, interpret, and present the biomedical scientific data, which is required for the data presentation and all. You will be able to write grammatically correct reports. You will be able to prepare regulatory, safety, publication documents, as well as educational and communication material, which is related to health and healthcare products. You'll be able to understand the regulatory and safety domains. You will be able to write documents which are related to drug development, adverse reactions. You'll be able to understand the research methodologies, and you'll be able to do the quality assessment of the literatures. So now program details. So this is the fee structure you can see on the screen. Then you will have the we are available on different social media platforms: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. You can follow us on these, and you can go through the profile. Okay, so this is the like date will change. You can, regarding when the batches are starting, you can contact to your counselor or to whoever you are in contact with. This is the number and email ID where you can contact, and this is the link which is provided to enroll. Okay. Okay, so Komal, the average package, I already answered this question. I think I'll repeat again that the package depends upon that what type of document you are writing. Okay, package again depends upon the company, upon your skills, upon your experience. Okay, then Om Shelek, what are some interview questions? And they ask technical skills. Yes, of course, you should have technical skills. That technical skills include technical knowledge about the domain where you want to work. Suppose you want to write, you want to work as an aggregate report writer, then you should know what are the aggregate reports, how they are written, what are the guidelines which are followed. Okay, and you should have knowledge about certain softwares also which are used. So that will also be provided to you in this course. Okay, and you should have that technical knowledge about the, in case if you want to work in a regulatory process, then you should have that knowledge about the regulatory guidelines, then drug development process and everything. Okay. Okay, so that's all from my side. Now again, whatever queries you have, you can ask related to the course. All technical queries you can ask with me. If you have any administrative queries, then you can contact your RM or your counselor, and then you can get your queries resolved. As I said, Shiri, you can ask these queries to the RM. They will contact you. They will tell you about this. Timings and all, Priya, you can confirm with your RM. We have weekday and weekend, both the batches available. So depending upon what is your availability, you can contact with your RM, and they will clarify you what are the timings, what are the days. So according to you, you can choose your batch. Okay. So I hope this webinar is beneficial for you all, and I hope that queries related to medical writing which you all have are resolved. Okay, and yeah, related to these queries, as I said, again I'm repeating, any technical query if you have related to the course, you can ask me. Any administrative query you have related to the certificate, related to the placement, related to fee, batches, you can contact your RM or your counselor. They will clarify all your queries related to that. Okay. Any technical queries, anyone? Okay, so thank you. Thank you everyone for attending the webinar. I hope this is helpful. In case if you have any further queries, further technical queries, you can contact your RM. They will connect you with me. Okay. Thank you. Thank you everyone. Bye bye. Thank you.